In this video, we'll explore some of the basic concepts around how the Sweej Ambience system works. So here we have a Sweej Ambience actor. These are for global sounds that can be heard throughout a level. And in this case, we have an exterior ambience assigned to it. Over here, we have a Sweej Ambience volume actor, which has an interior sound assigned to it. Sweej Ambience volume actors have a brush component that you can edit to make them a bespoke shape and size for specific areas or locations in your game, but we'll be looking at that in a later video. Whatever the shape of the brush component is, the attenuation distance for the actor begins outside of it. So here, for example, the attenuation distance is 600 units, and the inner brush and attenuation distance is illustrated here with this simple debug blueprint. Let's look at our first concept, which is that the sound actor with the highest priority wins. At the moment, both actors have a priority of 0. So let's turn on the level editor volume and hear what that sounds like. So there we have the exterior sound. Now we have the interior sound, but we're also still hearing the exterior one. If we look at our ambience inspector, we can see that the weight and resulting level of the interior Sweej ambience volume increases as we cross that attenuation distance. So this is just like what would happen if you were using a standard Unreal ambient sound actor. But the Sweej Ambience system was developed so that you don't have to worry about switching exterior sounds off and then back on again. Instead, the system enables a crossfading between areas over distance, which is much more like our experience in the real world. And this is done via an equal power crossfade so that we smoothly transition between ambient sound areas. Let's set the priority of that interior actor to 1. This time we'll see that the weight of the actor increases and the resulting level increases, but at the same time the resulting level of the exterior sound goes down. You can think of the weight as an actor as representing its desire to contribute to the ambience, but the sum of all the resulting levels will only ever reach 1, and the share of this resulting level allocated to each sound is based upon their priority. So now this higher priority sound will increase its weight as we cross that attenuation distance, and the resulting level will increase. But what's happening is that the resulting level of the exterior sound, because it's a lower priority, decreases accordingly. So when we're inside the inner volume, we only hear that sound. A second concept we'll discuss is that of max weight. As you design your ambiences, there's likely to be lots of situations where you don't want such a binary switch. You might want to hear some of the sound from outside the volume whilst you're inside it, or you might have several overlapping volumes. This is where we can use the max weight setting to limit the weight to a value of below 1, meaning that the resulting level of the lower priority sounds will still be able to play using this remainder. So if we set our high priority interior sound to have a max weight of 0.8, that leaves 0.2 of the resulting level that can still be used by the exterior sound. So you can see here that the higher priority sound has been capped at 0.8 because of that max weight setting, allowing us to still hear some of that exterior sound. Now let's see these principles extended to include another Sweej Ambience volume. Here we have our Sweej Ambience set to a priority 1, and our interior sound playing using this Sweej Ambience volume set to a priority 2 as before, but now we'll introduce another Sweej Ambience volume for an interior cafe ambience, and this is set to priority 3. We can see as before that if we go from the exterior to the cafe, the weight changes to reflect the higher priority volume. The cafe sound fades up and the exterior volume fades down. Then as the higher priority cafe fades out to the next priority sound as we move towards the inner tone, this ambience comes through as its weight picks up the proportion that the cafe is no longer using. So if we go back towards the cafe, you can see and hear that blend. You'll also notice on the way across that if the resulting level of the two higher priorities is not equal to 1, then that also leaves space for the exterior sound to come in. So we're getting a blend of all three ambiences. Whenever the highest priority sound has a weight of less than 1, due to the listener's proximity or any max weight constraints, then the next priority sounds are included. This means that we can have a fine level of control over the blend of several ambiences in a particular environment, and they will all smoothly blend in and out depending on the listener's location. If we just move and resize the cafe over here, for example, so that it's now within the larger interior space, everything just works. When we're outside, we just have the exterior sound. Then as we move in to the inner volume, since it's at a higher priority, its weight brings up its resulting level and this subtracts from the exterior sounds level, but only up to its max weight, 0.9, so we still hear a bit of the exterior as before. Now when we go into the cafe, since this has the highest priority of 3 and no max weight, this gives us a resulting level of 1. We'll dig into lots of other aspects of the system in the following videos, but just one last thing to be aware of is that when you have multiple overlapping Sweej ambient sounds or volumes that share the same sound, the system will automatically just play one copy of that sound and will factor the sound level accordingly. This saves on your voice count and explains why you might occasionally see a set of resulting levels that appear to sum to more than 1. So for example, this room tone here uses Sweej Ambience Quad Interior 02, as does this one, and as we move between them, you'll hear that the sound level handles the blend seamlessly. However, looking at the audio inspector, then actually only one sound is playing.